Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a sub-replay sent in by WickedWilliWonka. And today we have a battle from him in the Potez 630. Now I'm not sure if he was spading the plane at the time, he didn't mention that in his email as far as I could tell. But for the most part, this was a great battle, and I was actually quite shocked, because don't get me wrong, I can throw a Potez around, these things are bloody maneuverable for twin engine fighters. But I think I've got a rival in terms of that department of throwing around Potezes. So obviously, a couple of patches ago, the Potez 630 received a buff, which it quite frankly deserved, and it got a buff to its engines. The engines now obviously produce more power, you now get WEP, so it enables this thing to climb better and everything else. I have covered this thing in a video before, but this plane's much better than what it used to be. I mean, in my opinion, I think it was still pretty good without the buff, but now it's even better. So today he is on Near East, I believe the map is called, if I remember rightly, and he's so close to carrying his team, is all I'll say. But of course, Ticket Bleed, everyone's worst enemy when it comes to carrying a team. But he had fun, and obviously, if he is spading the Potez, I'm fairly certain he would have gotten some good RP and credits towards spading it and everything. But I absolutely love this aircraft. It's even better now that it's buffed. So let's get into the replay. Obviously, you can see I've got a lot to get through today. Obviously, the Germany suffers one at the top. That is Raptor Jesus' replay, but I'm going to get through everything else first, and then I'm going to do his replay because I haven't actually watched it yet at the time of me recording this. So, this is a 22-minute battle. However, I'm only going to show about 17 minutes of it because the rest of it is just a Ju-88 that Wicked Willy Wonka couldn't. Well, he knew where he was, but Ticket Bleed just stopped him from being involved, shall we say, and carrying this team, quite frankly, how they should have been carried. So, it's taken an awful long time. Have you got bad internet, mate? There we go. Yeah, sometimes with WRPL files, they do take a while to just spin up and everything. Obviously, you can see teams spawning in now, but I reckon there's some sort. This must have been like a server bug on Gaijin's side, or Wicked Willy Wonka's just got bad internet, which I doubt it. But even so, we're already off to a good start. The MiG-3, who gets an air spawn, crashes. A guy named I'm a Forward in a Chica team kills a Key 44 for no reason. I had a look, he's a smurfer. He's on a smurfing account. He for some reason is going around team killing basically anyone who gives him the look. I think he's going after Chinese planes, and yes, he's just damaged and set afire a CW-21. I'm not going to put him on my hit list because, well, it's quite clearly a troll account. I mean, I could, but to be honest, I've got plenty of troll accounts that do that anyway, so... So at this point, obviously, we are in a 2.7 game, forgot to mention that. And obviously, Wicked Willy Wonka is on a 1.7 heavy fighter. Probably not Spade, like I said, I don't know, I don't think he mentioned that in his replay file. But he sent his usual text document, which I love the text documents, like... I swear, he must sit down with a pen and paper and just go, yep, this happened, because I wouldn't have the patience to do that. I'd just give a brief description. Which is all I ask for, but... Wicked Willy Wonka must have like a notepad just there like, right, this one's going to Joseph, so... Potez 630, engaging Russian Hampton, things like that. And Team Killer at the start, MiG-3 crashes. He literally did that. And I'm like, mate, did you sit down with a pen and paper? But he's going to get a good game out of this thing. I love the Potez 630, as I've already mentioned. So obviously at this point he's found a Russian Hampton and he's found a DB3A, poor sod. Oh, you poor sod. freaking hate that thing. Don't get me wrong, it was an alright aircraft to Spade, but at the end of the day, it could just use a buff. So here comes two Curtis Wright CW21s. We refer to them as Curtis Wrights from now on. We don't call them CW21s. But this one here, Deda Garoya, has a situational awareness of a bloody fish, but WickedWilliWonka got a bad shot off. Obviously, the angle he was coming out wasn't great, and obviously, the CW21 finally saw him, and yeah. So obviously, with the team killer going off on a whim, obviously, WickedWilliWonka's team is already down 4 players, make that 5, because a Triger's just died to a CW21. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So obviously, a CW21 is easily gonna pull in a Potez, but if there's one thing Mr. Wicked Willy Wonka's good at doing, it's dogfighting. He's gonna throw this Potez around like you're in a nightclub. Like, Jesus Christ, man. He makes an excellent series of defensive maneuvers, but it's going to be in about a minute's time where he put on obviously the notes that he then noticed that his team is dead. Well, it didn't help that you had 4 retards, obviously. Well, you had the team killing retard blow up 2 of your teammates, and then obviously the MiG-3. But the funny thing is, it seems that Gaijin wanted to help him as much as they could to get Wicked Willy Wonka a win in this battle. But it's just that ticket bleed. The enemy bombers did their job, and well, there's not much you can do about that, I'm afraid. So CW21's just shot down a VG, and they've also shot down, well, another one has shot down a Hurricane. So, in other words, Wicked Willy Wonka's team is basically dead apart from that poor bastard in the I-16. BF-191, probably one of the most annoying planes to deal with. Takes out, I can't remember what he named his gunner. He had a name for his gunner, but I call my French gunners Pierre. Obviously the 109, being as balanced as that, can just pull a stall turn like that. The Potez can do it because it had the airspeed to do it. He didn't. But Wicked Willy Wonka teaches him a nice lesson, and that is his first kill for the game. Unfortunately, though, that I-16 that you saw earlier, he's got bombs on when he should have rockets on, because, well, that at least makes the Type 18 a bit better than carrying, I don't know what bombs he's carrying, but I'm guessing the 100s. And, well, when you're dealing with a load of CW21s and planes like the 109, you're going to want to have at least, if you're going to bring ordnance, bring the rockets. They're a lot less drag in most situations. So obviously here we go again, Mr. X Ven, I hope I'm saying that correctly. He banks it around, and well, it's a CW21, it just has energy screaming out of its arse, so you can just see how broken that plane is for 2.0. He crits Wicked Willy Wonka's tail, but Wicked Willy Wonka's got his flaps down, he's got his throttles back, he's trying to force the overshoot against this CW, but unfortunately they seem to have hugged it out, and the CW21 got bear hugged, so he didn't exactly walk away unharmed. Wicked Willy Wonka obviously, he took damage from that ram, but yeah, his plane's okay for the most part. But for the most part, obviously, he puts in chat, eat my tail. He has taken a lot of damage already, and his ammunition is running a bit low. So, man, I'm not long woke up, and I'm going to do this because I've got a lot to get through, as you saw today. The first flights that you probably saw, they will be coming soon, obviously. But otherwise, the Spade reviews, they will be pushed back as normal. But Yeah, last time I tried to do one of Wicked Willy Wonka's replays, oh, what was it? It was, well, you gave me two. RE 2001, and there was something else. And the week I was going to record it, because I like to space out my recording schedule. Like, I don't record everything in one day because that's just too much pressure on my voice. The week I went to record it, the patch dropped for 1.93. So thanks, Gaijin, killing off my sub replays I get. I don't get many, but to be honest, I don't care. As long as you guys send me them, I honestly don't mind. So if you look at the ticket bleed, obviously the enemy bombers have taken out all three bases, and they've also been working over ground targets a little bit. Obviously, some guys decided to put on a domination for some reason. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, he's in a Russian Hampton, so I've been having mixed results with the Russian Hampton. I mean, it's a good bird, but it's just the amount of bullshit I have to put up with in it is just unbelievable. So for today, you can see he's gun attacking a snooze. He'll be alright. But obviously now, Wicked Willy Wonka is on the repair. But at the moment, he is actually going to spot a Ju-88 that is circling above his runway. But for some reason, this Hampton decided to, instead of going back to base and getting bombs like a normal person, he decides to try and vulture Wicked Willy Wonka. And there's one thing that Hampton is not known for, it's durability. So it didn't exactly end well. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hampton can take a pound in, but not from anti-aircraft guns. And I mean, trying to vulture with just one 7.7 Browning when the Potez has two 20mm cannons. That's just silly. So there you can see up there in that contrail, that is the Ju-88 that I was on about. Okay, so we've got to skip ahead to the next point, or port of call, which actually made me laugh. At this moment though, a A-29 has just shot down a Hurricane, but the A-29 has just killed himself. I don't know why, but Wicked Willy Wonka jokingly puts in chat, keep it coming, because obviously it's making his work a bit easier, isn't it? So it's around about this point where a Lag 3 11 is coming to look for Mr. Wicked Willy Wonka. DB3A has just crashed. I'm guessing he must have had full payload and tried to take off and he didn't have engine mods. But obviously, this Lag 3 player, I swear he has the brain cells of, well, my average allied teammate. But even so. So obviously he's coming in now, Wicked Willy. I don't know why this Lag 3 thought that was smart. What actually happened was he pulled up to obviously avoid collision and he whacked his prop on the con tower. So that Lag 3 is not going anywhere basically. Obviously, Wicked Willy Wonka didn't notice at the time, so can't really give criticism. But I mean, this guy was done. Wicked Willy Wonka just didn't know it yet. He'd killed himself. I mean, if we cut to his perspective, you can see he's knackered his propeller. I don't know what kind of a man would think that was smart to do, but yeah, whatever. It's his decision. If he wanted to go and try and vulture an airfield, I mean, that is an option, but I'd have probably tried to avoid the tower at least, because, well, that can be quite painful. I mean, it's a lesson, so he got away with it perfectly fine. So obviously he's diving in now, Mr. Wicked Wonka. This thing dives much better than it used to. And obviously, he sees smoke, but he didn't know at the time that his prop was out, but even so. Long burst, and well, that's a beautiful explosion. Second kill. Even though Hispano cannons don't get the biggest credit they deserve, at lower tiers, they do some work. Obviously, I think he was running Universal, looking at the tracer, because obviously there was a tracer and then a load of other shells, etc. I think he was running Stealth. I don't know, well, sorry, not Stealth. Tracer, well, Universal. I don't know why that Ju-88 came back again, because, well, there's no need. He had no bombs. I reckon he tried to play fighter. which, I mean, the Ju-88A4 can do perfectly fine, but I can't say I'd do that over potentially winning this game with the payload that thing carries. So obviously at this point it's down to just 2 planes. That Ju-88 and the dreaded CW-21. And well, that right there was its contrail. Now Mr. WickedWilliWonka, obviously he does have an altitude advantage. So his best hope is to force the CW into the vertical and try and burn off as much energy as the CW-21 has. And it's quite clear to me that this CW-21 did not expect WickedWilliWonka to actually do this maneuver. Obviously, he pops the flaps, pops the throttle down a bit, and he's just swinging inside of the CW. And that looked pretty violent, but the CW is still fighting. Obviously, that only blew off a flap and a bit of wing damage. This CW wants to keep fighting, but it's futile at this point. WickedWilliWonka holds all the cards, and well, that's a tasty fire, isn't it? Where's the marshmallows? We've got some marshmallows in the garage, funnily enough. My mum's had them in there for a while, and she's not letting me out of them because I love marshmallows. The ironic thing is, though, if I eat too many marshmallows, I get sick. But down goes the CW-21. I'm not sure how he was doing on ammo, but I think at this point he decided to return to his airfield anyway. But that, unfortunately, is going to be it. Obviously, there's like 5 minutes of pretty much nothing. Unfortunately, WickedWilliWonka's team lose because of the ticket bleed. As you can see, the tickets are just so far behind. And well, fair play to the Ju-88 pilot. He did his job. I mean, he got 0.9 of a ton, which is always nice at lower tiers. But I mean, 3 kills, shooting down, what, it was 2 CWs? If I remember rightly, you got 1, and then you got the lag, obviously. And you got the 109. So, you did get both, but it would have been nice to have had both, personally. We know how broken those things are. But like I say, well done to you, Mr. WickedWilliWonka. Unfortunately, you didn't get the carry that you wanted. I know, mate, how many times we've been through this situation. But it's just how it goes sometimes, mate. But whatever. It's no big concern for what it is, obviously. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's sub replay by Mr. WickedWilliWonka. Obviously, if you've got any replays you want to send to me yourself, please do at the provided email address in the description below. Obviously, give me a short description of the battle. Doesn't have to be anything special. It doesn't have to be an entire text file, because I mean, I don't mind it on WickedWilliWonka's end, but if you want to do that, feel free, because I'll have a laugh. But yeah, so well, obviously, make sure to leave an email there if you've got anything that you want me to show. Another thing is, if you want to check out the Potez 630 respawn battle, obviously I discussed above. I'll leave that as well. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's sub replay, and I will see you all on the next one.